I mean, it was less about the message, and I think coming out of the half, the guys, I thought it came from them today, and they made a decision walking out of the half to not let go of the rope. We struggled the last two games. The first half did not go our way. We didn't play our best half, and we just kept fighting, and it took us a little while to break through. It wasn't easy. They made a couple more runs at us in the third and then again in the fourth, and we just hung with it. And the thing that, stands out, when I look at our logo, that's kind of what I think about is that spirit. I thought about that before I came here, and then the years that I was here with the blue. That was kind of the spirit, the relentless competitive spirit of the teams that were really good teams here. And, we've got a lot of new players and we've got a lot of young players, and that's the type of mentality we're trying to nurture. And I thought our relentless spirit in the game was what stood out. And even if we didn't win it, we stood back up tonight, which was progress for us, and it was a really good, response by the guys, and it came from inside of them.
Joe Masato with the Oklahoman.
Hey, Mark. Lou got hot there in the third, and then Shea was 5 of 5 in the fourth. Both of those guys seemed to really lead this comeback. What did you make of the way that Lou and Shea played tonight, especially in that second half?
Yeah, I mean, they were great, obviously. Lou was outstanding, especially he made huge plays defensively down the stretch. I mean, he took the charge on Levine, and then he had the loose ball, which was a huge play also. And Shea was so efficient tonight. He was outstanding. But again, I thought we gave ourselves a chance. There's no guarantee you're going to win when you kind of continue to compete. But if you continue to compete, you give yourself a chance. And, I was more happy with the approach those guys took. Those two in particular were great. But our whole team, like I already said, the approach is what we're most proud of tonight. That was a huge step forward for us. It was huge progress. Even if we lost the game, if the last shot goes in, I'd feel the same way.
Cliff Brunt with AP.
Yeah, Coach, what was it like coaching against Billy Donovan? What does it mean to you, or was it just another game for you?
Just another game. I have great respect, obviously, for him. I love the guy. But, I have a responsibility. It's like, when players play against guys that they were teammates with, once the ball goes up in the air, we've got to, do our jobs and compete. And, at that point, it's just another game. The relationship, lies outside of the competition.
Nick Gallo with Thunder Broadcasting.
Mark, season high 27 minutes for Kenrich. Seems like he makes the most of every minute out there. What are you seeing on the floor when you watch him?
Yeah, he was awesome tonight. He was really, really good. He made a lot of really important plays in the game. It's who he is. He plays like that. I give him a lot of credit because obviously we've shuffled our rotation. And there's nights where we've shuffled him out of the rotation, and he, interestingly enough, he's been in 2 of the games where we've been down 30 in the fourth quarter, and when he's on the court in that game, he plays the same way, and I think that's just a great representation of the mentality that we want to take to this. Is, obviously it showed up tonight in a great win, but it shows up every time he steps over the line, and, those are the types of things we try to celebrate here.
Joe Masato with the Oklahoman.
Hey, Mark, I guess it's sort of related to that. That Darius has been in a bit of an offensive slump these last few games. What was the decision like to go with Kenrich instead of Darius there late in the fourth quarter and then overtime?
I thought Bays really fought, I really do. He was really trying to turn it, He obviously didn't play great in the first half. He didn't play great to start the second half. Tried to just light a spark with K. Rich there in the third, but it wasn't a slight towards Bays. We went back to him, later in the third and the fourth, and I thought he was really fighting it. He was really trying to get it right. I give him a lot of credit. And then we put him in there as a defensive sub on the last possession of regulation, and he had a great trap on Porter. So I give him a lot of credit. He kept himself ready. K. Rich was obviously really good tonight. It was just a decision to try to help the team, but it wasn't a slight at Bays. In fact, I was really, really happy to see how he kind of tried to punch through that.
Eric G. with Sports Animal Tulsa.
Yeah, Mark, you were talking about building a resilient culture here in Oklahoma City. How much easier is it to do that with guys like Shea and Lou and Bays, who were here last year, and having them spread that message throughout the younger guys and through the guys that you got via acquisitions during the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, you said it, we're not trying to build a resilient culture. We're trying to continue a resilient culture. Resilient culture has existed here for a long period of time. Ever since the team came here, there's been a resilient basketball culture. That's what I was speaking to at the beginning, is the spirit that those teams had. And it continued last year with that team, and Bays and Shea and Lou got a taste of that in Muscala. And we're trying to continue that, and I would say that's a staple of the city as well. That's one of the things when the team came here that I know was a high priority, is that the team's resilient spirit was matched to that of the city's. There's a lot that goes into playing here in this community, and there's a lot that goes into representing the logo, and that's what we're trying to teach every single day.
Byron Patton with Fox 25.
Having said that, is it even more impressive that you can do that with no fans in the stands? Because a lot of times fans can give you that energy to keep trying. You kept climbing the mountain, coming back, coming back. You did that with no fans in the stands tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it came from inside of our guys. It was internal tonight. I give our players a lot of credit. There was unbelievable enthusiasm, 1 through 15 or 16, and all the way throughout the game, even coming out of the half, when things were getting rough. I give George Hill a lot of credit. George Hill was a catalyst for us tonight from a mentality standpoint and a resilience standpoint. And that happened on a night that he was 3 for 11, so it wasn't like George Hill was scoring 20 points and front running. George Hill, some of his shots didn't fall tonight, and he poured himself into the team tonight, and there was a contagious nature to that.
Daniel Bell with Black Sports Online.
Hey, Coach, Shea was a little bit more vocal and animated tonight, and it seemed to rub off on everyone. Can you talk about the leadership he showed?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest part of his leadership was how he played. He just stuck with it. He was really, really relentless tonight, and especially in the second half, he was hungry on every single possession. I thought he did a really good job defensively. And yeah, I mean, he's a happy guy. He plays with a lot of joy, but he's really competitive, and he's learning how to fire that into the rest of the team, and that's hard to do. It's hard enough to take responsibility for your own game, and it's that much harder to take responsibility for the team. But he can